This is the voiceover written summary of the interrogation of Nicholas Godejohn on June 16, 2015. The report goes as follows. On June 15, 2015, while assisting with the homicide investigation referenced the death of Claudinia Ann Blanchard, I was assigned to respond to Waukesha County, Wisconsin, to locate and interview Nicholas B. Godejohn. On June 16, 2015, I made contact with Nicholas Godejohn in an interview room within the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. Nicholas was advised of his Miranda warning, to which he acknowledged and understood by both initiating and signing the Greene County Miranda form. The following is a summation of my audio-video interview with Nicholas Godejohn. It is not intended as a transcript or exact text of the recorded interview. Nicholas identified himself as Paul Nicholas Godejohn. Nicholas said he is 26 years old and he graduated from Nathan Hale High School in West Allis, Wisconsin. Nicholas said he has only lived in Big Bend for a few months and that he lived in Waukesha, Wisconsin prior to moving to Big Bend, Wisconsin. Nicholas said he does not have any children. Nicholas said he and Gypsy Blanchard first met on the internet dating site ChristianDatingForFree.com. Nicholas said he met a couple of people prior to meeting Gypsy on the dating site. Nicholas said the name Gypsy used on the dating site was Gypsy Rose, and he used Nicholas Godejohn. Nicholas said 4 days after meeting Gypsy on the dating site, he and Gypsy decided to start a committed relationship. Nicholas said the way that we clicked, it made it seem like somehow we were just right for each other. Nicholas said he and Gypsy tried to communicate on the internet site meetme.com. However, the site was difficult to use, so they didn't use the site for long. Nicholas said he did communicate via the social networking site Facebook. Nicholas said he used his name Nicholas Godejohn, and he said there were a lot of Facebook accounts that have been deleted, but the ones he most recently remembered communicating with Gypsy on were named Emma Rose, Gypsy Rose, and Nicholas Bella Rose. Nicholas said Emma Rose and Gypsy Rose have been deleted. However, he suspected that Nicholas Bella Rose was still active. Before providing the name on the Facebook account that Gypsy used to communicate with him, Nicholas began telling the officer about his June 20, 2015 trip to Springfield, Missouri to get Gypsy. After she was kicked out of her mother's home, Nicholas explained he got on a Greyhound bus, rode to Springfield, Missouri, and walked to a Days Inn hotel. Nicholas could not recall what kind of clothing he had been wearing when he got off the bus and walked to the hotel in Springfield, Missouri. However, he thought it could have been athletic clothing. Nicholas explained he had luggage with him. When he got off the bus, Nicholas described the luggage as being red and black Marlboro cigarette duffel bag. He said he had brought 3 changes of clothes with him when he traveled to Springfield, Missouri. Nicholas explained Gypsy had been kicked out of her mother's home and he was worried sick about her because she was wandering the streets. Nicholas said he sent Gypsy a text message and he believed he must have found a free Wi-Fi area because Gypsy was able to text him back. Nicholas said he had used his cell phone to text Gypsy, and then he said his cell phone number was 262-501-9008. Nicholas said Gypsy communicated with him via Yahoo ID. Nicholas said it is a messenger service through Yahoo, but he did not have details about the service. Nicholas said on June 10th, 2015, he was able to get Gypsy to meet him. Nicholas explained he told Gypsy the name of the hotel he was staying at. The name of the road hotel was on. Nicholas said he did not receive any text from Gypsy for a while, and then he was walking out of this hotel room to get a soda, and then he ran into Gypsy. Nicholas said Gypsy had her luggage with her when she arrived at this hotel room, so he took her luggage into the hotel room and they walked to get a soda. Nicholas said he got the soda from a vending machine located outside the hotel, and Nicholas said after returning to the room from getting a soda, he and Gypsy stayed in the hotel. He then explained he was in room 227 from the time he arrived in Springfield, Missouri until the June 11th, 2015, at which time he was moved to room 226. He said he checked out on June 11th, 2015, thinking he would be traveling back to Wisconsin. Nicholas explained further, saying his return bus ticket for June 11th, 2015. He said Gypsy was moving in with him, so he had to get a bus ticket for her as well. Nicholas explained the bus was full for the June 11th trip, so while at the bus station on June 11, 2015, he changed his return ticket to June 12th and purchased a ticket for Gypsy. He said after changing the bus ticket and purchasing a bus ticket for Gypsy, he returned to the hotel, stay overnight, and rest. Nicholas said he recorded ordering food from Domino's Pizza and Papa John's Pizza. Nicholas said both orders were delivered to the room, while one being on June 10th and the other being on June 11th. Nicholas denied he and Gypsy went out anywhere to eat. Nicholas said he and Gypsy went back to the bus station on June 12, 2015 to travel back to Wisconsin. Nicholas said only he and Gypsy arrived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His mother picked him and Gypsy up from the bus station and drove them back to Big Bend, Wisconsin. Nicholas said he was the first time this was it that his mother seen Gypsy, and he came over with her. After listening to Nicholas tell his initial story about meeting Gypsy, traveling to Springfield, Gypsy being kicked out of her home, and their travels back to Wisconsin, I explained to him that I knew he had not told the whole truth about the event surrounding his visit to Springfield, Missouri. I explained to Nicholas that Gypsy had told a different story than he had, and I encouraged Nicholas to be honest. Nicholas said, well, the truth is, I worship her, so there is no way I could do the honorable thing for her. I asked Nicholas if Gypsy knew he was going to kill his mother. Nicholas responded, honestly, she asked me to, because she felt it was her only way to be with me. Nicholas went on to explain that Gypsy had asked him more than once to kill Dee. Nicholas said they discussed him killing Dee on Facebook and during text messages. Nicholas said the truth is, okay, I'll admit it, I actually stabbed her mom. I would admit it, the only reason I did it was I did it for me and her. That's the real reason I did it. I would have never did it if it was not for me and her. Nicholas said, I truly do worship her, to the point where there is nothing I would not do for her. Nicholas said if Gypsy had not asked him to kill Dee, he never would have killed her. Nicholas said he does not know Gypsy's mom's real name. He only knows she calls her Dee. Nicholas said Gypsy loves her mom. Nicholas said Gypsy felt guilty about the whole situation. I had to make sure she was safe, meaning I had to make sure she felt like she would be comforted by me. Nicholas said Gypsy wanted to kill her mom herself, but she could not kill her mother herself because she was too skittish. Nicholas said Gypsy could not do it herself because she could not live with herself. Nicholas said. Honestly, to this day, I still feel guilty about it. I do, because I didn't. I learned so much about her mom after she told me more and more about it. After actually being able to live with her for a little while, I actually realized how good of a mom she was. Nicholas clarified that Gypsy was telling him about Dee, all of her accomplishments, and it was those things that made him feel guilty for what he had done to Dee. I asked Nicholas if the trip to Springfield on June 10, 2015 was for the purpose of killing Dee. Nicholas stated, "It was because I wanted to be with her, and I asked Nicholas if Gypsy knew he was going to kill Dee. Nicholas stated, "Yes." I asked Nicholas why they had decided to stab Dee instead of poisoning her, shooting her, or beating her with a bat. Nicholas explained neither he nor Gypsy would have known how to poison Dee. Nicholas said Gypsy looked up multiple times of how to do it because she wanted to find the quickest way. Nicholas said Gypsy wanted Dee to be in the least pain for her death to be quick. Nicholas said the reason we chose the knife because I guess she thought that it would be quicker if she bled out quickly. The more holes the faster they got away and the faster they are at peace. Nicholas confirmed this is what he thought Gypsy was thinking when she mentioned stabbing. He clarified Gypsy never said those exact words to him. Nicholas also clarified on the day that he killed Dee, he arrived at Dee's home via a yellow taxi cab. Nicholas said the taxi picked him up from his hotel room and dropped him off at Dee and Gypsy's home, located in Missouri. Nicholas said when he arrived at Dee's and Gypsy's home, Gypsy was the one who let him inside the home. And then I asked Nicholas where he had got the knife to stab Dee. Nicholas said Gypsy had bought the knife for him and she had it waiting for him when he arrived in Springfield, Missouri. Nicholas explained Gypsy had bought the knife online. Nicholas later changed his story and stated Gypsy had found a way to purchase the knife from a Walmart. Nicholas described the knife as having a red and black handle and described the handle of the knife being squishy. He said one side of the knife was smooth and the other jagged. Nicholas said he could hold the knife with one hand. And then he said in regards to the knife he had used to stab Dee, and Gypsy mailed the knife from Springfield, Missouri to his address in Big Bend, Wisconsin. Nicholas said a taxi had taken him and Gypsy to a post office to mail the package. He said they had asked the taxi driver to take him to the nearest post office from the hotel room. Nicholas said the knife did arrive at his home in Big Bend, Wisconsin. Nicholas said his stepdad was the one who got the package with the knife from the mailbox. Nicholas said his stepdad gave the package to Gypsy and Gypsy brought it to him. Nicholas said his stepdad had no idea that it was the knife in the package. He said the knife was currently hidden in the deep right corner of his closet within his bedroom. Nicholas said the knife was still in the package. It had been mailed and the package was unopened. Nicholas explained Gypsy had that all set up. Nicholas explained Gypsy had the material to mail the knife and had written the address on the envelope the knife was mailed in. He said the knife was packaged in bubble wrap and a brown envelope. He said he put it in two of them. Nicholas said it was both of their ideas to mail the knife because they planned to over time get rid of the knife permanently. Nicholas said when he was stabbing Dee, Dee was laying on her stomach on the bed within her bedroom. Nicholas said Dee was wearing a nightgown, no panties, and was barely covered with blankets. So easy access to her body. I asked Nicholas where the first time was that he stabbed Dee. Nicholas said he stabbed her in the random spot in the back. I asked Nicholas how many times he stabbed Dee, and he responded 4. while holding up 4 fingers on his left hand. Nicholas said, "The 4th one, I felt it go in. I think I might have gone into her lungs because it was harder to get out." Nicholas explained he had to yank the knife out using one hand. Nicholas explained, as far as stabbing, he only stabbed Dee 4 times, but he stated he did cut her. Nicholas explained he cut Dee on the back of her neck because Nicholas said he did see blood on Dee's neck after he cut her. I asked Nicholas if Dee said anything while she was being stabbed. Nicholas said first she said help, then she didn't know. She didn't recognize who I was. She said who you are. Then she called out for Gypsy, but Gypsy didn't do anything. Nicholas said Dee yelled for Gypsy 3 times. Nicholas explained Dee pretty much yelled it. He used his own voice to mimic what he heard Dee yelling. I asked Nicholas what he did when Dee was yelling, and he responded, "I didn't stop for me, keep on going." I asked Nicholas if he could have stabbed Dee more than 4 times. Nicholas first stated that he was not aware of stabbing Dee more than 4 times, but later stated it was possible. Nicholas said counted the ones that went in Dee, but he didn't count other ones. Nicholas said he could not remember everything. He stabbed Dee because he thought it is a blockage because of the guilt. Nicholas denied Gypsy ever stabbing Dee. He explained she couldn't do it. That's the reason she asked me to. I asked Nicholas where Gypsy was while he was stabbing Dee, and then Nicholas said Gypsy was hiding in the bathroom. Nicholas explained Gypsy was hiding because she did not know if Dee would actually end up killing him. Nicholas went on to explain that she didn't believe I could actually do it. That's why I think it was. She didn't think I was capable of it. I asked Nicholas whose decision it was that Gypsy would hide in the bathroom while he was stabbing Dee. Nicholas said it was Gypsy's decision to hide in the bathroom. Nicholas said Gypsy went into the bathroom and blocked the bathroom door. Nicholas said he didn't not ever allow Gypsy to see Dee after he killed her because he did not want Gypsy to be traumatized. Nicholas said while he spoke up to Gypsy about raping Dee, he did not rape her and he did not touch her body, dead or alive, in a sexual manner. Nicholas thought that it was disturbing for people to have sex with dead people. Nicholas said after he was done stabbing Dee, he went to the bathroom door where Gypsy was hiding. He said they had set up a code prior to Gypsy locking herself in the bathroom. Gypsy would know it was him and not Dee at the bathroom door. Nicholas went in to explain that the code he and Gypsy had came up with. It was a knock 3 times and a scratch 2 times in the bathroom door, which would signal to Gypsy that it was him outside the door. Nicholas said he had discussed several ideas, but the 3 knocks and 2 scratches was the one that they stuck with. Nicholas explained Gypsy did not open the door right away after he killed Dee and given the signal for her to open the door instead. She wanted to shave her private parts and her legs. Nicholas explained usually Dee would not let Gypsy shave her legs. I asked Nicholas if he made Gypsy shave her legs and vagina. Nicholas said, I think it was a combination of both of us. I mean, I wanted her to. I'll be honest, I did want her to, but I think she wanted to do it also, because she wanted to make sure that she pleased me and made me happy. Nicholas said after Gypsy shaved her private parts and her legs, they started cleaning up around the house, and Nicholas said Gypsy was completely naked while she cleaned up the blood. Nicholas explained they were cleaning up anything that memorized of her. Nicholas said she took some pictures away. She actually threw them in the trash. She tried to get rid of things that would give you guys the idea that she really lived here. And Nicholas said they did clean up blood, stating, I believe I must have been mine because I actually stabbed myself in the process. Nicholas showed me his right index finger. which he had a small bandage on it. Nicholas also pointed out the area on his left forearm, which was bandaged. Nicholas said it has been injured during the kill of Dee Dee. However, the injury had been injured again when he was taken into custody by the county law enforcement. Nicholas continued talking about the cleanup that occurred at Dee's home. Nicholas said, for a while he and Gypsy cleaned together, but then, because Gypsy wanted to get the clean up and down faster, she started cleaning by herself. Nicholas said Gypsy used a cleaning odor remover. He said the bottle Gypsy used to clean up the blood was reddish in color. Nicholas said there was a liquid in the reddish bottle, and Gypsy poured the liquid on the blood. Nicholas said Gypsy then used a paper towel or wipes to clean up the blood, having been told the crime scene contained spray bottles with a blue color liquid in them. I asked Nicholas about the spray bottles that had been located inside these residents. Nicholas could not recall seeing the spray bottles. Nicholas said after Gypsy cleaned up the blood, she wanted to have sex with him. Nicholas explained he and Gypsy had vaginal, anal, and oral sex on Gypsy's bed within her bedroom. Nicholas described Gypsy's bed being full of stuffed animals. He said they moved the stuffed animals off the bed, and after they had sex, they put the stuffed animals back on the bed. Nicholas said the sex between him and Gypsy was consensual, and Nicholas explained, obviously I was not. I was the one in charge, but she went along with it willingly. I asked Nicholas if Dee was making any noise or if she was dead. When he and Gypsy were having sex, Nicholas responded she was probably long gone by then. Nicholas said he did not ejaculate during the sex with Gypsy, nor at any time while inside the Blanchard's home. Nicholas said he felt he may have had too much stamina or endurance or something like that, because it takes a lot to even get me close. Nicholas said the sex with Gypsy concluded when she had an orgasm and she performed oral sex on him. Nicholas said after having sex they realized there was a lot of packing and stuff that needed to get done. He said they began packing Gypsy's clothing, movies, and whatever she thought of would be needed, pretty much. Nicholas said of the movies they packed were the Game of Thrones, True Blood. Nicholas said the stuff they gathered during packing was placed in Gypsy's pink suitcase and a black backpack, which Nicholas described being black with writing on it. Nicholas said after they packed everything they wished to take from the home, Gypsy began cleaning things in an attempt to get rid of all the fingerprints. Nicholas explained Gypsy used the disinfectant wipes and patted down all the areas that they might have touched. Nicholas said Gypsy did this because she did not want him to get caught. Nicholas said he did not help Gypsy clean because he did not want to make a chance of him getting fingerprints everywhere else in the home. I asked Nicholas if Blanchard's home was neat and orderly. Nicholas said, "No, it's not at all. It was my first time ever there in the house, and I can't believe how much of a pigsty it was." Nicholas went in to explain that one room of the house had so much stuff in it that it was hard to even get in the room. Nicholas said in Dee's bedroom there were stuff stacked on the floor along the edges of the bed. Having been advised a purple Barney doll had been located in the bed next to Dee. I asked Nicholas if he had ever recalled seeing a purple Barney doll. Nicholas initially said he did, and that it was in Gypsy's room. However, after giving it some thought, he could not recall where he had seen it in the home, and even later he stated he did not see the door. Nicholas said after packing and cleaning, he used his cell phone to call a taxi. Nicholas said a yellow and colored taxi came in Blanchard's home and picked him up. And Gypsy, Nicholas said he did not recall the exact date of the taxi came, but explained the sun was coming up when the taxi picked them up. Nicholas then said the taxi took him and Gypsy back to the hotel, which, as he stated earlier in the interview, was the Days Inn in Springfield, Missouri. Nicholas said this room number was 227, and Nicholas said after arriving at the hotel, they relaxed and cuddled in the bed. Nicholas said they talked about their future and having a family together. Nicholas said, "We thought we really had a chance to do it. We were really happy about that," Nicholas stated. They cuddled and let him and Gypsy again having sex. Nicholas said he did not ejaculate during this sexual contact, and he had trouble the entire time I was in Springfield. I asked Nicholas if he had got blood on the clothing he was wearing at the time he killed Dee. He said he had, and that he did not clean this clothing. Nicholas said he was wearing a black spin jacket, black shirt, black pants, and white tennis shoes. The black shirt had crazy clowns on it. Nicholas said the clothing and the shoes he wore when he killed Dee were at his home in Big Bend, Wisconsin, within his bedroom. Nicholas said his bedroom was located in the upstairs portion of his home. Adding the walls of the room are purple. Nicholas said the clothing was still contained inside the red and black Marlboro duffel bag, and the clothing had not been washed. Nicholas said when he and Gypsy had sex in the bedroom, it was the first time he and Gypsy had sex. Nicholas explained when he visited Gypsy in Springfield. I'm sorry, it was not the first time they had sex. So Nicholas explained when he visited Gypsy in Springfield, Missouri in March of 2015, he and Gypsy had sex in the bathroom within a movie theater. Nicholas said Gypsy was wearing a blue Cinderella dress and a blonde wig. When he had sex with her in the bathroom of the theater, Nicholas said he took Gypsy's virginity when he had sex with her in the men's bathroom. Nicholas explained on March 2015 was also the first time he had ever met Dee. Nicholas said Dee was very nice to him. However, the night got ruined in some way. Nicholas said after he and Gypsy had sex in the bathroom, they watched the movie and he said his goodbyes to Gypsy. Nicholas said Gypsy was in the wheelchair when he met with her in March. Nicholas said Gypsy only had to be in the wheelchair at home. He said only he and 5 other people knew Gypsy could walk. Nicholas explained further, stating Dee wanted everyone to think that Gypsy was 16 and disabled. He said, yeah, she felt kinda trapped in a wheelchair when I was actually trying to encourage her to be able to walk more and more. Nicholas described the wheelchair as being motorized. Nicholas said Gypsy has no problem walking and can walk up and down the stairs without any assistance. He then explained that when he first came to Springfield, Missouri in March 2015, and then the second time in June 2015, Gypsy paid for the travels to and from Springfield, Missouri. Nicholas said Gypsy sent him cash in the mail. Nicholas said Gypsy sent him $400 each time. Nicholas said in reference to killing Dee, he had a weird feeling he was going to get caught. Nicholas said he was not sure when it was going to happen, but he had a weird feeling in his stomach that it would. Nicholas said he and Gypsy had cried multiple times over what happened. Nicholas said, I told her this will haunt me the rest of my life because that's the truth, it will. While clarifying questions, Nicholas said when he arrived at Gypsy's home, on the night he stabbed Dee, Gypsy met him at the door. Nicholas said Gypsy was wearing a long, dark, brunette wig. He said she already had the knife and a pair of blue-green gloves for him to put on. Nicholas said Gypsy had not been wearing gloves at the time she was handling the knife. Nicholas said he and Gypsy had gone to a Waffle House restaurant to eat while they were in Springland, Missouri. He said the Waffle House was located right next to the Days Inn Hotel, and Gypsy had been staying at with him. Nicholas said while he could not recall the next or the exact day, he said he did recall it was around 8 a.m. Nicholas said he was able to remember the time frame because this was the time he was reminded that Gypsy is a lactose intolerant. Nicholas said he ate steak and cheese omelette with raisin toast and hash browns. I again asked Nicholas when he got to Dee and Gypsy's home. He knew he was going to kill Dee, and Nicholas responded, I pretty much at that point, I made my mind up at that. That's the only option at that point, so I just went right for it and had latex glove on, something like that. So, trying to hide my fingerprints, Nicholas explained when he arrived at Gypsy's and Dee's home, and Gypsy let him inside. Dee was sleeping. He said Gypsy handed him 2 latex gloves when he described as bluish green color turquoise. He said then Gypsy handed him the knife. Nicholas said the latex gloves were used to hide the fingerprints. I asked Nicholas if Gypsy had latex gloves on when she handed him the knife, and Nicholas responded, her fingerprints will be on the knife. Nicholas continued by explaining Gypsy had not been wearing gloves when she handed the knife to him. I asked Nicholas if he put the latex glove inside the house, and Nicholas explained he put the gloves on outside the house as he was walking in, and he was explaining it was part of our plan, and she, the one that thought of the part of the plan. I told her to get her butt into the bathroom, because that's what she wanted to do. I had reminded her to go do it right away because I wanted to get it over with and get out of there as soon as possible. Nicholas denied he ever went into a shed that was on the property, and he denied ever getting into Dee Dee's vehicle. The interrogator then asked what type of sex they were having. Nicholas explained he and Dee Dee have been experimenting with sex, that while the sex has been rough, Gypsy has become used to it and enjoys it. Nicholas explained further that the sex was violent, rough. He then says that he never struck Gypsy in a violent way. He has bitten her, and he has used all his force when thrusting his penis into Gypsy's vagina. Nicholas said with regards to biting Gypsy, she would have marks or bruises on her body from biting because she would ask him to do that in a way to mark my territory. Nicholas said the first time he had bitten Gypsy, it was because she had whispered it in his ear. That biting was a turn on of her. Nicholas said he had only bitten Gypsy twice. While he could not recall the first time, he could recall the second time, and it was on her right arm. Nicholas explained Gypsy seemed to enjoy the second time he bit her, but even though it was a very hard bite. I asked Nicholas about bruising that has been observed on Gypsy's knees and legs. Nicholas said they might have occurred when Gypsy was crawling around on the floor, cleaning up the blood at her and Dee's home in Springfield, Missouri. And then I asked Nicholas if he had asked Gypsy to clean naked. To it, he stated he had, and that it was a turn-on for him. Nicholas said, while he did ask Gypsy to clean while naked and crawling on her hands and knees, she did find it easier because she was at eye level with the things that needed to be cleaned. I asked Nicholas if he thought it would have been a turn-on to have sex with Dee. Nicholas stated that it would not be a turn-on. I explained to Nicholas that I was asking this question because at one point Gypsy had stated that he had mentioned he wanted to rape her mother, Dee, and Nicholas said at one point I was talking about it. I did actually mention it. I was thinking about it, but then I changed my mind because had felt bad for just the whole question and the whole situation of having to kill her mom in general, so I decided just to kill her quickly. Nicholas denied touching Dee in any sexual manner, either prior or following her death. I asked Nicholas how long he thought he was stabbing her. Maybe 5 minutes, he said. I asked Nicholas if Dee got an opportunity to punch her or hit her during the stabbing. Nicholas said Dee was trying to grab onto him, but he was able to get himself free. Nicholas explained he was not on the side of Dee while he was stabbing her. Rather, he was standing Dee as she laid on her stomach on the bed, which made it a lot harder for her to resist. Nicholas said Dee did try to put up a fight. I asked Nicholas if he said anything to Dee while he was stabbing her. Nicholas said he did, and it was like a different form of myself though. The thing is that, I don't know if she told you. I don't know how much she told you about me, but the me you are talking to right now is my normal good self. And that's the reason I feel the guilt I do. But the one who actually did all of this. The thing is, the good side of me refused to do it. That's why it was instant that it happened right away, because my evil side is what actually did it. Nicholas said the evil part of him told Dee she was dead to him. Nicholas said many things were said to Dee, but he could not remember all of them. He did recall saying, "Stop resisting, you know you're dead." Nicholas said he has multiple personalities, however he has never been diagnosed with such. Nicholas said while he does not take medication, he used to take medication for the voices he heard in his head. Nicholas said Gypsy also had an evil side that she refers to as Ruby. When talking about Gypsy's evil side, Ruby, Nicholas recalled while stabbing Dee, he told her, "Never get between me and Ruby." Nicholas went on to explain that Gypsy had another personality she liked to call Kitty, which he explained is that of a little girl. He said she also uses candy. I asked Nicholas of the good part of him that he kept mentioning was what got him on the bus to travel to Springfield, Missouri to kill Dee. Nicholas said it was. However, the killing was solely the evil part of him. Nicholas said the killing of Dee was the only time his evil side has ever come out in his life. Nicholas said beside the killing of Dee, he was never named or harmed anyone else in his life. I asked Nicholas about the Facebook posts that have been made from the Gyp Blanchard's Facebook page with regards to someone being harmed. Nicholas said he does not know the password of the Facebook page and that the postings were made by Gypsy. Nicholas said Gypsy had made the posts prior to him having any knowledge of them, and she kinda surprised me with it. Nicholas said when Gypsy told him about the posts, he thought, "What the heck?" She kinda freaked me out. Nicholas said she felt Gypsy had made the post to speed the process. Nicholas went on to explain he felt Gypsy wanted law enforcement to get involved more quickly, to get people's attention. I asked Nicholas if he and Gypsy had anything other than the knife. Nicholas stated they had hid money they had stolen from Dee, which Nicholas explained as being Gypsy and Dee's savings. Nicholas said he took the money from Dee's bedroom after he killed her. He said when he entered Dee's bedroom, make a quick right, and there would be in a dresser. He said the money was in the drawer of that dresser. Nicholas said the money was contained in the pouch. Nicholas said Gypsy told him where the money was within the bedroom so he could retrieve it. So she refused to go in the bathroom where Dee was deceased. Nicholas said with regards to I said that was located in Dee's bedroom. Somehow, most of the money Gypsy got out of the safe because we had a lot of money. Nicholas said Gypsy took thousands of dollars and they had barely used any of the money. Nicholas said they intended to save the money as a next... I can't really read it. Next egg? What? Nicholas said the money could be located on the bedroom within a backpack. In speaking with Nicholas about the money he and Gypsy spent, he confirmed he and Gypsy had gone to a Walmart located near the hotel. He said he went the day before they went to leave for Wisconsin. Nicholas said they purchased condoms, 2 liters 7-Up, and lip balm. Nicholas said he went into the store alone because Gypsy had friends in the store she knew would recognize her. Nicholas also stated he had gone to Walmart store on one occasion. However, he could not recall the exact date. Nicholas said when Gypsy was with him, they took a taxi to Walmart. At 1 hour 44 minutes into the interview of Nicholas Godejohn, the officer then stepped out of the interview room to speak with Greene County Sheriff Office Detective Mr. Stan Hancock in review of the video footage. While he was out the interview room, it should be noted that Nicholas stated, "Oh, I gotta tell her that. That's the only thing I can think of," and then something inaudible. "I didn't realize they were going to have a female talk to me. I didn't realize a female deputy or detective. So I'm out of it. I am so out of it. I'm so worried about our Gypsy. Though I'm gonna ask her question maybe she can explain to me and answer to. I'm gonna ask her, besides being honorable, what does the truth? Where does the truth get me besides that? Because the reason I ask this is because me and Gypsy planned on lying our way through this, because we didn't want to go, because we didn't know how much you guys knew. We would probably perfected it. At first I did not know how much was known, and then, until she came down, I'll wait for her though. Apparently she gonna come back." And then at 1 hour and 48 minutes in the interview, while looking to the right, Nicholas appears to smile briefly, then look towards the camera. Nicholas then began to talk aloud again. "I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see her. I really don't know." Then the officer entered back into the room at 1 hour and 48 minutes 42 seconds. At the watch time, Nicholas wanted to know where telling the truth would get him. Besides being honorable, I explained that I could not answer the question, and then he asked Nicholas if he has ever killed anyone else, and he responded, "Oh no, I know I haven't." And then I asked Nicholas if he had ever thought of killing anyone. Nicholas responded, "Well, I might have had. I've had a thought in my head, but I haven't actually done it until this happened with Dee Dee." I asked Nicholas if he thought he would ever kill anyone else, and Nicholas responded, "Well, I can see it happening." Then the interrogator asked Nicholas, after he had stabbed Dee Dee and after he had sexual intercourse with Gypsy, and they packed all of Gypsy's items, they ever gone back to the bedroom and move any of the blankets from Dee Dee's body? Nicholas denied ever moving the blankets on Dee Dee's body. Nicholas said neither he nor Gypsy called 911 in an attempt to help Dee Dee. Nicholas said the first time his mother met Gypsy was at the bus station, where she picked them up at Wisconsin. He said his parents think of him as the innocent type, so they would never have suspected him to kill anyone. Nicholas said his family has never, in 26 years, seen him do any evil thing. At the conclusion of my interview with Nicholas, I asked him if he had anything else he wished to talk about. Nicholas stated he did, and then he stated that the reason he lied initially about what occurred was because he and Gypsy agreed on a lie story. And that's the reason I went with it. And then I learned she told you everything, so I just let it all out. And then the officer asked Nicholas if he had, and Gypsy, what the lie story was. And Nicholas said they were going to say that he had come to Springfield by bus got a hotel, and Gypsy began texting him while she was on the streets. He said Gypsy was supposed to act like she asked for his room number so she could go straight to his room. I asked Nicholas, of course the officer, if he could go back and change anything. What would he change? Nicholas said, I would. The thing is that this is something me and Gypsy have talked about at least 100 times since we have been able to live together. These days that she has been able to be with me, I kept on going back, and I kept wanting to ask her, because this is the question I kept on asking her. Before I asked her if I was the one, asked her before we did this killing that happened. I was the one who actually asked her, are you sure you wanted me to do this? And then she said yes. And after she said yes, the rest of the story you already know. But the question I kept on asking her besides that, I asked her, are you willing to risk everything to have everything you have ever wanted? And that's the part of the reason why she risked her old life with me, to have one life with me. I explained to Nicholas that with all he said, he did not answer the question. I again asked what he would change, if anything, about what has occurred, and Nicholas responded, on how this happened. Oh gosh, well, the thing is, I would rather not kill Didi, the truth, because that's the main thing I regret the most of the entire thing. And then they went to take photographs of Nicholas. After Hancock finished photographing Nicholas, they exited the interview room, leaving Nicholas alone inside the interview room. Nicholas stated, just when they said, detective, it was plural, I'm freaking screwed, and did that for her, and only for her, actually for us. So yeah, it was for us. I wouldn't have did it if it wasn't for us. She knew it was the only way to be together. I would apologize to everyone except for Dan. Dan is the only one I would not apologize to. Apparently she decided to go with it, like screw it. Me, I actually held together until I learned she didn't lie, and I said, screw it, I'll just tell the truth here too. I really realize how screwed I am right now. And then something inaudible. The thing is, if I tell the truth like I just did, yeah, it fucking sucks. Just have to say it. Really just want the best possible outcome to this as possible. I wonder what it is. I want to know what it is. She said she would get the best for me. The reason I said all of this because it's better to just let it all out. I honestly don't think there's anything else I can do anyway. I really don't think this situation at all. I mean, I feel horrible and I miss Gypsy. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, I thought she was gonna protect me, but then she told the truth. I don't know if she did it because something inaudible. I got a question from that lady. Does Gypsy even want to see me? I feel like she betrayed me. Where's that lady? She said she would be right back. She's probably crying because she realizes. Inaudible. Is someone really checking on Gypsy for me? Please. I got this weird feeling she's freaking crying because she did it to me. I know the magic words to pleading I'm going to use. See if it works. I hope she comes back in here soon. I can't believe she gave up on me. I can't believe this. I better be able to see Gypsy. I want to be able to hold her, tell her, because right now you made me take the fall. You say you're sorry. You should have realized. Something inaudible again. Let me take the fall. I'll be lonely night after night. It doesn't. I really wish that Gypsy could say hi to me. I wish I could just hold on to her. Again inaudible. To hurt as badly as I do. Again inaudible. Detectives, the thing is, I already feel guilty. There is no reason to punish me for something I am already guilty of. It makes no sense to punish them for something they already know they're guilty of, meaning, again inaudible, there is no need to sentence me to anything. There is something I'll never kill again. I freaking waited 26 years to freaking kill one person. I hope that the only person I have to kill is this one. And then the video recording ended, and that is the end of the logged version done by the police. Is filed as property as evidence.